Hello everybody, Paul here. Thanks for watching RDTV, and today we've got Formula 1 2018. We're going to be giving a drive to a selection of cars on a selection of tracks to give you an idea of what the new game from Codemasters, out this August 24th, feels like from behind the wheel. As I say, F1 2018 not quite out yet. We've got an early access review copy, and so far overwhelmingly positive my impressions of the game that I've seen up to this point. So the idea today, I'm not going to do much talking. I'm just going to introduce this video, disappear off your screen, and let you see some unedited, unfiltered onboard footage from the new title. So before we get started, let's navigate through the menus. We'll go to Grand Prix. We'll pick modern era cars. Don't want to be Mercedes because that's just too easy. Or Ferrari, or Red Bull. Pretty in pink. Sounds good. Let's be a Force India. Got a choice. Sergio Perez, Esteban Ocon. We're going to go for Sergio. Right, the track. Now, it has all the official circuits of the Formula 1 season 2018, but you will notice there are short courses for a couple of the layouts. So we've seen Bahrain there. We've got a short course for Silverstone coming up. Find the other one. And Suzuka as well, so that's just the first sector. Short version of Circuit of the Americas. And that's it. So I am going to pick a track at random. Apart from Monza, because that's just too many straights, it's boring. Let's do Suzuka. Right, so we select that. Brings you to your options menu. We want 25%, 101, so we can have a good race. Flashbacks, we're not going to use them, so it doesn't matter. Part Ferme rules, which means the setup I apply to the car before hitting the track in qualifying will be the one that we have to start the race in. We'll have the safety car, we'll have full rules, corner cutting regular, race starts manual, yes please. Assists, elite, which is the hardest one. Oh, we've got professional, experience, and amateur and beginner. We want elite because we like sim racing. Weather, I'm going to go for light cloud this time. There will be a rain video, but I've not tried rain yet, and to record it today would be a little bit ridiculous and probably quite embarrassing. Session start time, I'm going to go for the official start time for the Grand Prix. And away we go. So, I'm going to cut away now, so I'm no longer on your screen. We'll enjoy the build up to the race, the event itself. I hope you like the video. As always, give me a subscribe please on YouTube, that'd be awesome. Enjoy, visit racedepartment.com. We've got a bit of information up on the game, our initial first impressions, and yeah, keep your eye out. There's plenty more footage coming in the coming days and weeks. Alright, thanks very much, enjoy, see you next time.
Welcome to one of this year's most challenging races, where the combination of high speed and complex corners makes this one of the drivers' favourite tracks. It's time for the Japanese Grand Prix. A lap of this historic racetrack covers 3.6 miles, and it's the only time during the season that we race on a figure-of-8 racetrack. The drivers can expect some intense G-forces through the 18 corners on offer here as they experience some of the highest average apex speeds on the Formula 1 calendar. And keep an eye out for overtakes going into the final chicane. As the drivers complete their preparations down below us on the grid, one man who's no stranger to the pre-race pressure is Anthony Davidson, who joins me in the commentary box today. Great to have you with us, Ant. I'm sure you can tell us all about what goes through a driver's head before lights out.
But from the moment qualifying's over, you start to feel the adrenaline in your body build up and the buzz in your stomach as you anticipate the run down into turn one. It's all a bit like going into battle. And the unknown situation makes you nervous. Those pre-race nerves are a good thing. The day you don't have them means that you don't care anymore. And of course you have to make sure that all the procedures are second nature to you so that they're not taking up too much of your capacity.
Well then, after an exciting qualifying session yesterday, let's take a look at how the cars line up. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position, and P2 goes to Daniel Ricciardo. A strong showing from the Australian. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Raikkonen, Lewis Hamilton and Vettel, Magnussen, Hülkenberg, Van Dorn and Carlos Sainz, Grosjean, Ocon, Sergio Perez and Alonso, Sirotkin, Stroll, Charles Leclerc and Pierre Gasly. Hartley and Marcus Ericsson rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track. Mercedes have pulled off a great victory here today. And Anthony Davidson, give me your thoughts. How did they accomplish this result?
Well, I think the track conditions just really suited their car today. Wind, track temperature, you name it. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature. So the more easily you can keep them there, the better your race tends to go. And that's exactly what happened. Their car just looks so comfortable out there.
And here are our podium drivers today after that excellent race. They've excelled here, as they so often do, and it's a well-deserved victory. Mercedes, then, are on top today. Now then, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day?
Let's give it to Lance Stroll. That was a quality drive from start to finish. He can be proud of that one.
That's it for today's Grand Prix, and from Ant and I, it's goodbye, and see you again next time. Well, hello and welcome to a very special race here today. We have some marvellous machines down on the grid that in just a few moments will be accelerating up to some really high speeds indeed to compete for a prestigious Grand Prix victory. If you want flat-out racing, you've come to the right place this weekend, as it's full throttle for 59% of this 2.7-mile circuit, peaking at around 210 miles per hour going into the final chicane. But that speed requires discipline, and there are more than a few close walls here just waiting to punish drivers with a heavy right foot. Joining me to talk you through the action today is Anthony Davidson. And give us an idea of what kind of thing you're going to be looking out for today.
Well, the big question for me is whether or not we're going to see the cars able to follow each other closely enough to overtake, especially through the fast sections here. Of course, we've got DRS, and that will help on the straights, but it's still no good if you're coming off the previous corner too slowly or too far behind.
We're almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. Kimi Raikkonen's perfect lap yesterday sees him start from pole position, with Daniel Ricciardo slotting in alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Vettel, Valtteri Bottas, and Hamilton, Perez, Alonso, Ocon, and Kevin Magnussen, Grosjean, Van Dorn, Carlos Sainz, and Hülkenberg, Sirotkin, Stroll, Charles Leclerc, and Brendan Hartley. Ericsson and Pierre Gasly rounds off the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
to overtake mode. Okay, entering lap 3 now. DRS has been enabled. Reduce the ERS deployment, please. We need to charge the battery. This is your final lap of the race. Okay, clear. Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
A great win then for the Maranello team today. And I have to wonder, Anthony Davidson, just what set them apart from the competition here.
Well, I think the track conditions just really suited their car today. Wind, track temperature, you name it. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature. So the more easily you can keep them there, the better your race tends to go. And that's exactly what happened. Their car just looks so comfortable out there.
So here they come now, out onto the podium. Wherever you go, anywhere in the world, the Prancing Horse flags are dominant in the grandstands And they're out in force again today. It's Ferrari on the top step once more. Moving on to the driver of the day then. Anthony Davidson, who would you go for?
Well, I have to give it to Lewis Hamilton. You know, it was just the kind of drive you'd expect from a multiple world champion.
That's it for today's Grand Prix, and from Ant and I, it's goodbye, and see you again next time. It's time for today's race at the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache circuit here in Sao Paulo. And as any of the 80,000 capacity crowd will tell you, this is going to be a fantastic race. We're racing today then at Interlagos, a historic 2.7-mile circuit and one of the few anti-clockwise tracks on the calendar. 15 corners in total, 9 to the left and 6 to the right, with a technical middle section opening up to a flat-out Sector 3. That gives us our best passing opportunity down into Turn 1. As the drivers complete their preparations down below us on the grid, one man who's no stranger to the pre-race pressure is Anthony Davidson, who joins me in the commentary box today. Great to have you with us, Ant. I'm sure you can tell us all about what goes through a driver's head before lights out.
But from the moment qualifying's over, you start to feel the adrenaline in your body build up and the buzz in your stomach as you anticipate the run down into Turn 1. It's all a bit like going into battle. And the unknown situation makes you nervous. Those pre-race nerves are a good thing. The day you don't have them means that you don't care anymore. And of course you have to make sure that all the procedures are second nature to you so that they're not taking up too much of your capacity.
With that then, let's run through the grid order. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Vettel, Kimi Raikkonen and Ricciardo, Alonso, Grosjean, Sainz and Sergio Perez, Magnussen, Ocon, Nico Hülkenberg and Van Dorn, Gasly, Hartley, Lance Stroll and Charles Leclerc. Sirotkin and Marcus Ericsson rounds off the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
use it when within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone. Some front wing damage, but not enough to justify a stop in the remaining laps. This is your final lap of the race.
That's it for another Grand Prix and a fantastic win for Mercedes. Tell me, Ant, what was the key to this success?
Well, I think the track conditions just really suited their car today. Wind, track temperature, you name it. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature. So the more easily you can keep them there, the better your race tends to go. And that's exactly what happened. Their car just looks so comfortable out there.
And now it's time to wind down and celebrate after that fantastic Grand Prix. Here they come, your top three, out onto the podium. And now I'd like to ask you, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day?
Well, after a drive like that, it's got to be Charles Leclerc, hasn't it? Very clean, very smooth. He can be really pleased with that one.
That's it for today's Grand Prix, and from Ant and I, it's goodbye, and see you again next time.